Hey everybody, it's Deanna with toolsoferenergyprotection.com, your energy shift expert, where I teach empathic people and highly sensitive people how to use different tools that empower them, that keep them safe and keep them well and just, you know, oh, it's been one of those days, and the energy shifts are just so spectacular right now. I'm sure you've really felt it since the full moon came, and there's different planets squaring and all different kinds of things that shift the frequency of the planets that we live on. And so what happened to me many years ago is I used to feel these energy shifts and I had no idea what was going on. And sometimes I felt manic and sometimes I felt depressive and sometimes I wondered, what was going on for me. But what I've come to discover over the years is that the planet that we live on has different frequencies. It has different types of vibrations that happen because of the alignments of the different planets, and especially the moon. And so when the moon becomes full, it will a lot of times send different frequencies into our energy fields that cause us to look and examine different aspects of us, depending on where the other planets are, is what is illuminated from within. So before I get started and too much deeper into that, I want to remind you that I will be at For Heaven's Sakes Books this coming up Thursday and Saturday. So for those of you that needed a weekend appointment, give the store a call at 303-964-9339. Make sure that you line those up. There's going to be a special discounted rate on Saturday, but not on Thursday. So you might want to plan accordingly. And then want to talk a little bit more about this massive energy shift. And in the past, we've had energy shifts that have asked us to work on ourselves and have asked us to go within and kind of look at the different people that are around us and how they played into our lives or how we related to them or how they fit into different portions of our lives. And the latest shift is gone to the next level, which is more inside of your heart. So for those of you that are Aries in nature, there's a huge shift going on for you right now to really look at your relationships and look at how those relationships are working and what's not working in your relationships in very specific areas. It's very, very detailed for those particular personality types. And then for the Leos right now, there's a shift on really looking at your relationship to your job or your career or your business. And I generally don't, pull out the different astrological signs, but those were two biggies that I looked at this week because those two particular signs are really involved in my life. But if we look at the general, all the other signs and all the other different alignments, if you will, to the planetary energies, relationships are in the category of evolution with ourselves and how we relate to others. And a lot of clients that I talked to or I saw this week were all telling me about how they weren't really connecting with certain people anymore. There were people that at one time had been very much a part of their lives and their worlds, and all of a sudden they just were not connecting with them like they used to. And they were asking me, what's going on with me? And what's going on with you, if you feel the same way as some of my clients did, is that you're being asked to rise to a higher vibrational frequency. Your awareness is becoming greater. And the greater your awareness is, and the more that you understand what's happening in this planet or that we're living on, and more directly what's happening in the United States right now across the political board, the more you realize that you are part of the whole, but you're also different than everyone else. And you may not feel at home right now. You may feel like you don't belong here. You may feel like the whole planet has just gone nuts except for you. And I don't mean to be rude about that, but when we become very spiritually gifted and we are aware, or just gifted or aware, period, as the fear vibrations rise higher and higher, and as the planetary alignments are pushing us towards more spiritual purity, I could have put that on the talk tonight, spiritual purity. But as we get there, there's a big separation right now. And it's like we've been mixed in with oil and water for years, and the oil and the water is separating. And the more it separates, the more we begin to see people for who they are in our lives and how we connect or don't connect with them. And so as like attracts like, what's happening right now is the likes that used to be like to you, and now you're discovering that they're not like you, are going away. And that's just pure physics. You know, if you have two molecules that have enough attraction to each other, they'll stay together. But when they don't, they're going to float away. And then they'll go recongregate with others. And that is what is happening with the energetic shifts right now. So if you have relationships that are not working for you, you know, it's time to make some changes, perhaps draw some boundaries. I did have a client that's having some difficulties in her job. And she told me that she has had challenges before, but she just feels like people are really picking on her. They're going out of their way to exclude her from, if you will, other reindeer games. And she doesn't really know what to do. She would like to keep her job, but she doesn't feel like she really resonates with the people there. So that's another challenge that has been coming up. Health, too, is a really big deal right now. Because of planetary shifts, the way they are, our bodies do communicate to us. And if you are in a position that you're not happy in at work, if you're a position in a relationship, and a relationship can be anything from siblings to parents to somebody you're living with or married to, or even with your own children. There's so much across the board. It's hard to describe it all in one setting with what's going on. But relationships are huge. And each and every one of us, no matter what star sign that we were born under, is being asked to really look within. And first, what is your relationship with like with God, Spirit, or Source? Where are you with that? Do you talk to God daily? Because I will tell you, if you do talk to God, God will answer you back. It just may not come in this big booming, voice and answer you back and call your name. And of course, if that happens, you might pass out. But but God talks to us in ways that we understand. So you may be asking for something, and it will just magically seem to appear in your life. It'll come forward, whatever that is you're asking for. On the other hand, if you're challenged by various things and you're having pain in your body, I would really like for you to listen to your body. There are different ways to access that information. And if you make a list or just have one or two places that your body is aching and paining that it hasn't in a while or before, you can bring that to a session and we'll find out where that pain is actually coming from. And sometimes the pain is because we're not listening to ourselves and we're not listening to what's coming out of our mouths when we talk about these people, either to them or to others. So it's just really, really a big subject right now with this full moon. It's pushing us. It's pushing our buttons to really examine our number one relationship, which is with God, Spirit, or Source, and our number two relationship, which is with ourselves. And everything else echoes out from that. So if you're having challenges in your life, if you're arguing with people or you're upset with people, for whatever that is, even with your kids, I'd like for you to take a moment, take pen to paper, and write out, just even in bullet statements, what it is, what do the arguments feel like, look like, what are you arguing about? Because everything that's happening in your outside world is a huge mirror about what's going on inside of you. Because you are literally attracting to you people or situations faster than you ever have before to tell you what is going on that's not positive in your life, that's not happy in your life. And that's what you're being asked to look for. Now, I did talk a little bit about sleep patterns. And so as a highly sensitive person or an empathic person, anytime that you have a huge shift in the moon, either a new moon or a full moon, you're going to have challenges with sleeping. So you might as well mark it on your calendar, look it up, go ahead on the internet and print out a calendar for those two particular moons. Because when you have a new moon, that's usually about new beginnings. And so it'll be drawing you towards new things, or you'll have a lot of ideas going on in your head, and you won't be able to sleep because you can't stop your mind from thinking. That's normal for empaths and highly sensitive people. Then with a full moon, that's usually about pushing stuff out. And if you think about a glass of water, if you have a glass, there's no water in it. The water, as it gets poured in, fills up the glass. And then what has to come out? Well, the air has to come out. And that's a bit how the full moon energy is for us. It pushes in energy that we really need at that time and pushes out what we don't need. And sometimes we grasp onto what we don't need and fight it. We don't want to let it go. All right, then what you can do, I'll give you one of my little secrets about the full moon energy. If you will meditate, if you'll go, like you're going to go to bed at 9, if you go to bed at 8:30, just give yourself 20-30 minutes to meditate. And you balance your toroidal field. You pull in the divine love through the top of your head and then take it all the way down through your body and then bring it back up like an egg shape, or you can do it the other way around. And you focus your mind on allowing that energy to, from the full moon, from the magnetic frequency, to enter into your energy field and flesh out those things which don't honor you. Your process will go much faster. And you'll be able to sleep a little bit better. It'll be a little easier for you to sleep. But it's a matter of practice. And as a highly sensitive person and an empathic person, when these energy shifts would happen, I would really feel behind the 8 ball. I felt like I was a ball in a dryer, and I could never quite catch up, and I didn't understand what was happening. So over the years, I began to study it, and I began to learn what was happening for me. And so learn why that my emotional state would have big ups or big downs. And finally, I was able to stop and get off that roller coaster. And now when I see the energies coming, I know how to position myself. I know how to prepare myself so that when the next shift comes, I can use it for my benefit. And I can use it to dump a lot of more toxic energies or absorb a lot more positive energies. And really to be more abundant in my current environment rather than being, on the flip side of that. So if you have a lot of anxiety right now, if you have a lot of unrest in your life, if you're experiencing more depression than normal, it's probably due to some of these energy shifts and you're not sure how to process them and you don't know what to do about them. And you may be going around asking your friends if you're nuts. You may be participating in numbing out, or also called escapism, just hoping that these things will settle down. So after 12 years of working with others, after having found my own process, I've been now working with other people and helping them to get a grasp on these energies and to be more abundant in their lives, either mentally, physically, spiritually, or emotionally. That's what I have been doing over the last 12 years. And I've come up with a system after working with, I just figured this up a couple weeks ago. It's like 6,000 I think it's 6,600 clients that I've seen one-to-one, just working with them personally to help them identify what those energies are that are causing that and where they're coming from. So importantly, where they're coming from. If they're coming from within you, are they coming from without you? Are you absorbing people's energy? Are you absorbing the world at large's energy? You know, what are those things? Because, you know, God's Spirit Source desires us to live a happy and abundant life. And if you're caught up like a tennis ball in a dryer, you're not going anywhere. So your life isn't going to feel the way that you'd like for it to feel. So if you're ready to release that anxiety, if you're ready to walk forward with more clarity and have more answers in your life as to why certain things keep happening to you, why you're feeling so anxious, why you feel like you can't sleep at night, why you can't focus. These are some of the symptoms that are going on right now. And I would be more than happy to, you know, to share with you the tools and techniques in a one-to-one session, identify those energies, and then show you how to cleanse those energies out of your energy field so that you can have more peace and be more stable within. I'd be more than happy to help you with that. So that you can live more happily and not have to have so much anxiety all the time. So I did ask earlier today if anybody wanted to come with questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And it looks like Ron has joined us, and Nancy, and Cherie, and Joe, and Tracy, and hi to Yvonne, and hi to Jeff. I'm so glad you joined me tonight, Jeff, and Lauren, and hi to Matthew. And Matthew says it's been a while, and he's hoping all has been positive energies. You know how it is, Matthew. We're always working on ourselves. The boss will never let us rest. Big kisses, Matthew. And Tracy, hi to Tracy, hi to Missy, and hi to Shannon, and hi to Tammy. And if any of you have any questions that you want to type in, I'll be more than happy to answer those. But that's pretty much it. It's the full moon. And again, it's not just you. So when that full moon comes in, depending on the different planets that are around and the different planets that are in square and are hiding and this and shadow and everything, that really helps dictate what the moon is doing. But the moon and the sun are the two most powerful planets. And so we don't generally talk about the sun too much, except if there's a solar eclipse, but it also has a play in things. And just remember that if you have a lot of anxiety, or you're having a lot of depression, or you're having a lot of relationship issues, and you're wondering what's wrong with you, really there's nothing quote unquote wrong with you. It's this shift. It is spectacular. It is huge. For some of the star signs, it's calling you to task. And it's asking you to look at what old baggage are you holding on to that you don't need to? What beliefs, perceptions, judgments do you have on yourself that keep you from walking forward into a fuller life? Whether that be with a relationship, whether that be with a job, whether that be with your health. That's what's happening. And it's hard, and it's not easy, people. It is not easy. Like I said, I've been doing this business for 12 years, and I found my own journey before that, and I continue to grow continuously. And it's not easy. This latest shift, it's pouring down this fullness, this beauty and happy energy. And if you're holding on to the not so happy energy, it's just pounding you, and it's not letting go. So I encourage you to let go of whatever it is. And I have a great love in my heart to help people. That's what I love to do. That's why I got into this business. I started out just working on myself, and I said, you know, if more people knew this, they would live happier lives, and I can't wait to share it. And that's why I got into this business, and I love it. And since we have just a little bit more time, and I don't see any questions, just kind of waiting for people to ask questions in the feed here. And if you do catch this, a lot of people catch this on the replay, you know, feel free to post your questions, and I'll always answer them here. But God has really put his hand on my heart over the last couple of months. And he's told me that he's going to be asking me to reshape how I do business and what I'm offering people. And he's really asking me to reach out to people who are highly sensitive and empathic. He's told me that these people are so beautiful, and they're this mighty, army, if you will, that is raising the consciousness of the planet and moving us forward. And he said they need help to be able to clear these energies, to walk forward, to be in a higher vibrational frequency. And so that's what I'm doing. And as you come to Tuesday Night Live, or, check out my website, toolsofenergyprotection.com. You're going to see a lot more new offerings, especially before the holidays, because as you know, the holidays are the times we get so many triggers with our friends and our family, and depression and loneliness and all kinds of stuff. So I already have one class listed on my website, toolsofenergyprotection.com, that I talked about last week. And it's how to help women move through after having experienced narcissism with usually a female parent, and how they can feel better about themselves. And I'll have another one coming out just about basic self-love and how you can prepare yourself for the holiday season. And just to get you all ready. So that's it. I don't really have too much more. I enjoy my time every Tuesday here on Tuesday Night Live, and I appreciate you coming. And know again that it's not just you. Visualize yourself being a glass of water. You've been maybe empty for a while, and the full moon is just pouring beautiful, divine, loving energy. So whatever the dust is coming out, and that's what you're seeing. And if you can't quite face it, or you don't understand it, that is again what I do. I will sit down with you, we'll talk about it, we'll clear out the energy that we can, so that you feel lighter and you feel better and less anxious and better able to handle your day and your relationships. So that's it. And I don't see any other questions, but Matthew, yes, we'll have to catch up again soon sometime. Big love and hugs and kisses to everyone. I'm so excited. I'll be at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver on Thursday. I think I have a couple slots left. And then on Saturday, I'll be there as well. And then Monday at the Lakewood store. So get to as many of you as that I can. And until then, I will see you later.